Hey, man. Do you touch my drum set?
Nope.
It's just weird, because seems like someone definitely touched my drum set.
Yeah, that is weird. Because I didn't touch them.
Hey! Did you touch my drum set?
Hey, knock it off!
I know you touched my drumstick. Because the left one has a chip in it.
You fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
Fuck you, Brennan. I know you touched my drum set, and I want to hear that dirty little mouth admit
You
it.
get out of my face, or I'm gonna roundhouse your ass.
You swear on your mom's life that you didn't touch it then.
I don't have to swear to shit!
That's because you fucking touched my drum set! Because I know cops doesn't start till 4. Where are you going?
I'm going upstairs. Because I'm gonna put my nutsack on your drum set. Okay?
If you do that, I am warning you right now, if you touch my drums, I will stab you in the neck with a knife.
I miss band practice. Good times. Episode 92, Ego and Vice.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago, and I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away.
Hey, how's it going? This is Mike. This is Ego and Vice, episode 92. How's everyone doing? I hope you checked out last week, or last episode with Troy Huizinga. I had a good time with that. Got a good response from that one. So, Ego and Vice just keeps plugging away. You know, I call people up and I ask them if they want to be on the show, and some people reach out to me and ask if they can be on the show, and some people I'll respond back, and then they just kind of disappear. It's like, okay, I don't know. But again, as I always say at the end of the episode, maybe I'll say this at the beginning sometimes, is that if you want to be on Ego and Vice, contact me. egoandvice@gmail.com, and I'll respond back to you. I'm going to do some heavy vetting. Make sure... No, I'm just kidding. Well, kind of, yeah. In a way, sort of. Not to scare anybody away, but if you were on the hill standing on the hood of a truck waving a Confederate flag, you're probably not going to be on my fucking show. I don't care what you do in the music scene, the Ottawa music scene, or the Ottawa arts scene. You know, you're probably a dickhead. But hey, man, it's my show. I can say what the fuck I want, right? Anyway, back on track. I'm good. Just been doing some writing. Finishing off some writing on the new Goat record. It's been a long process, and it'll probably be I don't know, maybe another 6 months before any of it sees the light of day. I'm done actually writing the songs. Now I'm just going back through what I have, which are about 12 to 14 songs, and I'm just trying to like polish and change and refine. They've gone to the editor, if you will. And because I think the creativity part is I'm pushing too hard now. You know what I mean? You get to a point where it's just like, it's time to stop, because this is going to sound almost forced. And if you don't have something good out of 14 songs, then anyway, I'm a tough critic on myself anyway. Like, I hope you guys like them when it comes out. Like I said last week, any Goat fans left, if there are any, I hope they enjoy what I did. It's a little different, but hey, it's just me now, so you know. I'm I had a band meeting with the Riptides last weekend, which was awesome. It was a band meeting / hot tub party, because that's how we roll. That's so lame, eh? No, it's true. We got together. First time we'd been together in all four of us in person in 2.5 years. So we got together, had some food, I had some drinks. I had zeros, still strong on that sucker. And then we sat in the hot tub and discussed what we are going to do for the next 12 months of our lives regarding the Riptides. And I'll leave it at that for now. I don't think there's any need to go into any more detail as we're figuring it all out. But let's just say the next 12 months are going to be pretty exciting, pretty busy. And we can't wait for all of you to check it out. And it's going to be worth the wait, I promise. I promise. So be patient. Hang in there. Everything's gonna work itself out. Just been hanging out with friends and getting together when I can, but it's getting colder out and it's hoodie weather, which is awesome because I love the fall. And the fall leads into fucking shitty winter, but it's almost snowboard season and that makes me happy. And I got a season pass this year, so that's going to be what I'm going to do. Yeah. So if you're looking for me, I will be on the snowboard hill. I ran all summer. My knees are kind of shot. I need new shoes. Sore, and I'm looking forward to trading in the street, for a gym membership. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do inside because I'm not running when it's a bazillion below out in the ice and the snow and stuff like that. Not on the street. So and really lately I've just been asking myself the question because I've just how long can I keep this up as far as the running goes? Because it's such a pounding on the fucking joints and the knees and the back and the hips and stuff. And so I'm really, really looking to the smooth glide, the smooth carve of the snowboard turn, propelled by gravity. And the graceful swoosh of the elliptical trainer. And hopefully over the course of the winter, I'll rest up enough that come springtime, I'll get back on the trails and back on the street. And I'll start with Ottawa Race Weekend, which is every spring, and I missed it this spring because I didn't know it was happening and I didn't pay attention to it because it had been canceled for so long because of the pandemic that it just slipped by me. And I was like, God damn, I could have ran. Could have done the half marathon, but I didn't. I went and watched and I cheered people on. And when you're there, it's just like, I was ready to just start running without a bib. I should have, I guess, but I don't know. Whatever. I like the event, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to when the Army Run comes back and is in full force because running has become such a part of my life now that those are the things I look forward to. Exerting myself with thousands of other people. Anyway. All right, that's about that. I have a guest on the podcast today. He is a local producer, local engineer. He is the owner-operator of the local studio, recording studio. Wow, that was a long way around, eh? Hillside Audio. His name is Cameron Dunn. He is also the guitar player for a local band, Ghost of the King. So I'm going to give Cameron a call. I've known him for, I don't know, maybe about 5 years or so. Maybe longer. Who knows? We have mutual friends. Goat did some recording in Hillside Audio. Cameron actually was contemplating joining Goat a bunch of years ago, and apparently I forgot all about that. But I used to drink, though, so you got to cut me some slack. Anyway, I'm going to give Cameron a call, and we're going to have a conversation, and you get to hear all about it. So I'm going to play a song from a band called Neon Ghost House. This is a song called Expectations. This song was recorded at Hillside Audio by Cameron Dunn, my guest, whom I will speak with on the other side of this tune. This is Ego and Vice, episode 92.
Hello?
Cameron, it's Mike. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good, you know. Just got home from the day job. Now it's time to dig into the night job. What are you up to? What have you been up to?
You know, also just got home from one of my many day jobs.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We haven't talked in a while. I think we were just catching up via text a couple weeks ago. I said, hey, man, you should totally come on Ego and Vice, and we can catch up, and you can let us know what's going on. Because you got a lot going on. You have a busy studio called Hillside Audio. You have your band. You're a family guy. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
And
I don't know if we're very busy, but we're busy enough.
well, I've heard the name Hillside Audio from people that have been on Ego and Vice, so you're doing something good out there. And that's how we met, because Jesse Brewer from the Fly Downs did some work there, and I think we got introduced.
Yeah, because at that point I was looking to join a band, and I think I was really close to joining your band at that time.
Could be. The Goat?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to refresh my memory. That was like years ago. I quit drinking, by the way. Did I mention that?
Oh.
So lots of stuff.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh,
How
thanks,
long has it
man.
been?
About 9 months.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, but that's a whole different topic. I cover that a lot on the podcast. So, but it's also my excuse for not remembering a lot of stuff. So yes, can you refresh my memory of that?
Yeah, well, I think it got as far as like, me learning a couple of songs, and then I think I just decided to go with a different group of guys.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember that.
Yeah, so I learned. I think it was one song called Silver Bullets.
Silver Cans.
Yeah, Silver Can. Yeah, so I don't know. I figured it was about Coors Light, so
It was actually, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
little castle of silver cans that my castle that protected me.
yeah.
As I talk about quitting drinking. Yeah, kind of all stems back, but yeah, I was thinking, the reason I would have felt really fucking bad if we had actually jammed, but now
Yeah. No, we never got that far.
yeah, because we actually didn't jam, it slipped my mind, but now I remember. But I remember Jesse from the Fly Downs, Jesse Brewer. He posted a video of him playing a live song.
Yeah.
Or the band was playing a live song in
Yeah.
the studio, and I was like, "What's the deal with that? Where was that done?" And he said it was done by my friend Cameron at Hillside Audio. And I think I contacted you after that, and I don't know. I guess all the goat stuff and whatever. But we actually came in and did some stuff with at the studio.
Yeah.
And I got really uppity about everything, so I ended up sitting on it. I was going to release it at one time, but that's a whole nother story too. How did you start Hillside Audio? Like, how did that all come to be? Did you always have an idea for like production and engineering and that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think way back in the day, so like my background, like I was working at a church as like their music guy there. But that's a whole other chapter that we can get into later if you want to. But anyways, so basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to like in the Christian scene, they've got these like conferences and all that kind of stuff. And there's always like, a band and a speaker and all that kind of stuff. And they pay pretty well. So what I was trying to do was to get on that like conference circuit as, one of the music guys. And so for that, I figured I'd go make a record, shopped around, with a bunch of studios, between here and like, I think I was even talking to somebody in like New York City, to try and make like basically a business card of, songs that I've written, covers, whatever, and I was looking at the numbers, and it was going to be like close to 20 grand for what I wanted to do. And then I was, doing the math, and I just figured like, there's no way I'm going to make this back. Like this is a losing game already. And so I just figured, how hard can it be? I think,
okay.
Yeah, I think that's the way that a lot of records get made now.
Yeah.
Is People are shopping around. I get a lot of emails about that kind of stuff, and we talk prices, and then I never hear from them again, which is fine.
Right.
But
Well, I think that's just like consumers, right? It's like you're
yeah,
selling a service, and sometimes they'll. It's like
yeah,
selling
and
anything, right? Sometimes you get your client, and sometimes they go elsewhere. It's
oh yeah, and you know what, that's fine. Like, I'm all for like the home studio guys. You know, I love talking shop, whether it brings me any business or not. But yeah, so I ended up getting pretty decent at the recording, mixing, whatever, um, just through doing my own stuff. And then I got really busy doing a bunch of free projects for friends. And then at one point, I was sitting on the couch talking to my wife, and I basically made a joke and say, "Oh, I should just do this for a living." And she looked back at me, and then she's like, "Yeah, why don't you?" I was like, "Well, because I didn't figure you'd go for it."
Oh wow. Sometimes you just
like,
gotta.
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta ask, I guess. Oh, by the
Yeah,
way.
I guess so. And then yeah, so she said, her condition was, write a real business plan. So I did that, and then we got to run it like a real business, not a hobby where it's like just paying for gear upon gear and all that kind of stuff. So, and yeah, and the rest is kind of history. Started out, put a couple of ads up on Kijiji looking for, portfolio builders. Did a country record, did a jazz record, and did a rock record, and then the rest is kind of history after that.
I guess it was a bit of an extra sell too, because the studio is based out of your home, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, because when I was there a few years ago, it was in your basement.
Yeah. So we've actually moved since then. We sold that place, got a place out in Cumberland.
Okay.
So we're a little farther east, but it's just right off the highway. So drive time from like downtown is actually shorter to where we're at now.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think that's the way it goes with a lot of, like, do you remember back in the day, back in the day, I remember the first time I ever recorded at a studio, it was at Sound of One Hand studio in Ottawa. Do you remember that studio?
No, I don't.
Anyway, it was back in like the early 2000s, and it was in this industrial park area of Ottawa, in the kind of the East End, and it was what you would think of was a recording studio. Like, you walked in and they had their lobby, and then you went through this big, thick, heavy, triple-sided soundproof door into this like wooden room, which you've seen in like all the rock documentaries and the rock and roll stuff. And we paid X amount of dollars for a very short amount of time, and the product came out. But that was my experience. It was very cold. It was very stale if you're just going in for a day, right?
Yeah.
I think it's an awesome thing nowadays that the home studio, or I won't say it's like it's very easy to build a studio, I guess, if you have the finances, but you need somebody who can actually fucking make it all work, right? You can have all the toys, but if you don't know what you're doing, then you just have a room full of expensive shit, right? But I think it's really great that it is so accessible for musicians now, and when I say like your studio is based out of your home, that's such a common thing right now, and it's so envious of. I am envious of it because I am slowly building. Like, I just have enough to record demos, right? But I'd love to, now that I'm getting older, I'm not playing as much. I'd love to like get into more of the recording aspect of it, but I don't know. So yeah, is it? Sorry, I'm yammering. Is it fairly competitive? Do you find in the city for studios for recording?
So I've kind of pigeonholed myself. Well, maybe not pigeonholed, but like I've been working really hard at working with like punk rock and metal bands. And so there's a couple of guys in the city other than myself that are doing that kind of stuff. So there's Joe from Dark Moon, and then there's Mike from Wolf Lake. And they do great work. But other than that, like, I don't really know of that many people who are that I know of, the three of us that are working basically full time doing this.
Are Dark Moon and Wolf Lake, are those other studios?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know. I didn't see. That's stuff I don't know.
Yeah,
really.
so Joe from Dark Moon, he does a lot of like really heavy stuff. Like he plays in A Scar for the Wicked,
Okay.
which it's like a pretty technical death metal kind of thing.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, it's awesome that bands have the availability or just the opportunity, I guess, to record their stuff because it was way harder back in the day. You know.
Yeah, oh yeah, especially like if you're recording to tape or doing
Yeah.
any of that kind of crap. Like if we're going way back.
Yeah. Digital is huge. What do you use? Pro Tools?
I actually use Reaper.
Reaper. Okay.
Yeah, I started out not wanting to spend any money on it,
Yeah.
and at that point, Pro Tools, you still had to buy their interface and do all that kind of stuff. So like the cost of entry was like, I don't know, back then it was like $2,000 or something like that
Right.
for what I wanted to do anyway, like to be able to record drums and do all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, so I was looking through, started out trying to figure out Cubase, could not actually make any sound with it.
Okay.
And then somebody turned me on a Reaper, and I've been using it for, I don't know, probably 12 years now.
Wow. Yeah, I use Reason.
Oh yeah,
Familiar
okay.
with Reason. It's I think it's pretty close to Pro Tools. I don't know. I've never really done a lot of extended stuff on Pro Tools, but Reason was very easy just to kind of learn. Sitting around, I've had it for about 5 years, and I probably don't use half the features it has. But it's easy for what I use it for, and I basically just record my own demos and stuff. So it's a good software.
Well, I mean, it's as long as you can record your own demos, then it's perfect.
Yeah, and I want to get I don't know if you ever heard of it, like Superior Drummer or Easy Drummer.
Yeah.
That's my next kind of purchase for myself to learn how to play, just because I think I've gotten it down pretty good just for recording demos. But if I could just actually record my own stuff, and like mix it, and I don't even know the process of before it like hits the internet. I could probably release it now and just say it's punk rock, but you know, it's just like it's a bad drum thing anyway. So anyway, again, I'm rambling. How was business? Were you open during the pandemic?
Yeah. So when the pandemic first hit, we shut it down for a couple of months, and then when Dougie announced that phase 1 reopening plan or whatever it was, I can't remember how he worded it. Or
are you talking about Dougie Ford?
Yeah, Dougie Ford.
Oh, Dougie.
Yeah. Oh man.
No.
Anyway, but yeah, I was actually shocked because on the list was sound recording. And I wasn't ready for that. And at that point, like, we didn't know what, you know, like how bad COVID was going to be and all that kind of stuff. And so I actually, excuse me. I actually built a second room, on like, I don't know if you remember the old place, but I had like the main part of the room where my desk was. But I converted like all the storage into my control room.
Okay.
So that I could kind of
isolate a little bit.
Yeah, keep my distance, isolate, whatever you want to call it. So I did that, and then made a couple records there, and then we actually bought this place, and so I had to rip it all out.
Yeah. And
then I built a new one, and then so yeah. I mean, I was open during COVID, but it was a wild ride.
Yeah, I'll bet. Everyone had that same ride. So that's funny. It's like, so grocery stores, liquor stores, and studios.
Yeah, well, the best we could figure was that they had to put sound recording on the list because they had to get the news out to people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to record the news. So, and instead of saying something specific like, you know, sound recording for, you know, news or that kind of stuff for journalism or whatever, they just said sound recording. So it's like, well, I guess I fall under that category.
Yeah. Well, it is. I guess it's all like media, and they didn't specify what the media was. So
yeah, exactly.
It's almost like a loophole, kind of.
I think so. I think it was like, somebody didn't think it through quite enough when they were like, well, we got to put sound recording on the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome though. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I think that's it's a local business. It's an independent business, and it brings in money. So if you're able to do it, absolutely, because
Oh yeah, it was definitely needed at that point.
Yeah, it's just if you're a bartender, you're not working, but if you're an engineer, you're busy, I guess. If
Exactly.
Did you find people actually wanted to come in though, or is it like a?
Yeah, actually, I was pretty busy. I started out doing attempting to do some like remote production.
Yeah.
And that was a nightmare.
Like everything online type of deal.
Yeah, so basically what we did was I was working with a couple bands and they had like electronic kits, or their drummers did, and so I'd have them play, and then they'd send me just the MIDI file of their drums, and then I'd have to figure that out and edit that all down, and then I'd print out the drums, send it back to their guitar player, and have them record their guitars over top of the drums, and then we'd go back and forth a few times. Because I'd always tell them that their guitars weren't in tune and you needed to get new strings and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then at one point I was working with this like proggy kind of math rocky kind of band. And I think the guitar player didn't tell me that he had trimmed the file. And made like the space at the beginning shorter when he recorded. So I had my original drums and I just left them in the session, and then I put these guitars in,
and
fell
off
bass
somewhere, I guess.
became and vocals, and so they were 4 bars ahead of things.
Oh yeah.
But because of the style and the genre, it didn't sound wrong. It sounded very unintentional and like noodly.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound wrong. And so I actually ended up sending them like a first draft of like their final mix.
Yeah.
And the drums were shifted by 4 bars, and they're like, Cam, like, what the fuck?
They didn't go with it. Be like, this is even better.
No, they're like, yeah, and so through that, like, I was like, all right, I think I'm done with this remote production stuff.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I would have released it. It's a concept record. That's what it is.
Yeah, and then and then once we moved here, I've got like a separate control room, separate entrance, so they don't ever even have to be walking through the house like they were at the old place.
Well, that'll make your wife happy.
And yeah, so just started making records that way.
Rad.
Yeah.
How often do you work? Like, what are your hours of operation? Is it based off of the band's availability? Do they have to base it off of yours? Is it some push and pull? I don't know. How does it work? Your schedule?
You know what? I probably should be tracking my hours a little bit more closely, but there's a lot more that goes into running a studio than just like the recording and mixing and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'd say the bulk of my time is probably just convincing people to hire me. Stalking bands on Instagram and Facebook and wherever I can find them. And
is that how you do it? You reach out to them?
Yeah, sometimes. So
I always figured the home studios would almost be you'd have like your little pool of people that you record all the time, and it would be like word of mouth almost.
Yeah, well, I definitely do have that. But it's not quite big enough yet to keep me all the way busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do a lot of like internet chatting and just hitting bands up, being like, hey, how's it going, and all that kind of stuff. And I think at this point they're kind of wise to it, but
right,
whatever. I've made a lot of friends that way. Haven't made a lot of records that way, but it's all good.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's got to be a tough industry to be in when anybody can go to the local music store, buy gear, go home, even if they know how to use it to a minimum extent, but they could buy a keyboard and just by themselves and literally like write and record a record and release it on the internet the next day.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And like a lot of the gear that you can get nowadays, like, it's so good and it's so cheap that like there's really no excuse not to at least give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I find that there's two kinds of people that I run into for the most part,
Yeah.
which is like one that like we're doing it ourselves,
Mhm.
and like you know, like I appreciate you reaching out, but like don't talk to me kind of person.
Oh.
Or um, the one that I get a lot also is like oh no, we're going with this famous producer
Oh yeah.
because that's going to get us recognition and all that kind of stuff. But I've yet to see that work out.
Yeah. Well, it looks good. And
They
it
get a
sounds
great
good.
sounding record out of it,
Sure.
for sure.
And they get
But
to name drop a little bit, but
yeah, but name dropping doesn't get you as far as it used to.
it sure doesn't. No way. Absolutely not. You still got to put the work in. You know what I mean? You can't just be
Yeah.
like, we recorded here. It's like, okay, now then what'd you do?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's like, what'd you do with it? There's no easy ride in like music.
Oh no,
know-
no, definitely not.
You could be best friends with someone who could. Yeah, anyway, and you got to put the work in. And if your band still kind of sucks, yeah, the studio might make you sound good, but it doesn't mean you're anyway. What are you doing for playing these days?
So I am in a metalcore band called Ghost of the King. Um, down-tuned, really fast.
Ghost of the King. How long have you been in that band?
Not that long actually. It was a friend of mine. He started it up. He came through, recorded his first EP here, and then through listening to it and playing with it, I just sort of fell in love with it. And I was like, all right, but like I need to join this band. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And then I realized how shitty a guitar player I am. so
I don't.
so
know.
I've had to get better.
Well, I get they'll put up with you because he's got a studio.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's why they like me. Who
Oh,
knows?
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. You never know.
Maybe. Who knows?
I'm
Who
just-
knows? I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't blame them.
I'm just kidding. I'm still, but on top of the recording theme, I'm still, I'm actually writing the new goat stuff right now, and that's
right on.
actually what I'm demoing. So, I was just gonna do an EP, but I just keep writing songs. I just got in this really great kind of wave of creativity. Normally,
that's amazing.
it's very dry.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just started coming out, and I started. Plus, I think it was learning the recording software a bit more, and it became more exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I find when I'm writing and doing that kind of stuff, if I can hear it coming back out of the speakers at me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a lot more excited about it. And I find it helps keep me focused too. Where it's like,
Yeah.
you play a riff and you're like, oh yeah, that sounded awesome, and then you keep working on it, and then by the time you're done, it's like it's nothing at all like the original idea was, and you can't even remember the original idea.
Right.
Whereas when you're recording it, you can just play it quickly and then refer back to it and build off of it rather than forget what you're doing.
For sure.
Anyways, that's how I do it.
Yeah. No, that sounds pretty similar. The only problem is now is that I have that problem of being by myself, so someone needs to be there to be like, okay, you're good. That's enough. That
Yeah.
6 guitar fucking, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Or like a chorus, like not a chorus, like a choir of harmonies in like a 2-minute punk song. It's like, how many voices? Should I add an 8th voice here? Because I'm missing that. I'm missing that one octave. No, it's just like
Yeah.
I feel like Axl Rose doing Chinese Democracy for 13 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can do it, so why not?
So with Hillside, over the years, you must have recorded like a ton of great acts, like good local Ottawa bands, artists. Did you want to name some off just so they can the good listener can look up some of your work and plus the band's work?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I guess most recently I've been working with the guys from Sinful Ways. They just put out a killer new track called In for the Kill. Also been working with the guys from Sunday Riot Club. If you like that, like 80s kind of arena rock kind of vibe.
Nice.
They give zero shits, and it's awesome.
Love it. Yeah, that's great.
Who else has been awesome? The Dreaded Rebels.
I know that band.
Yeah. They came in and they did a tune called Scrooge McFuck.
Nice.
It's awesome. It's like a minute and a half, super fast, and it's just like as punk as it gets, you know.
Rad.
And then there's my band, Ghost of a King. We're getting ready to drop a new single.
Okay.
Called Disposable Faces. So when that comes out, you check it out. Who else has been in? I'm like, Sunset Hate. If you're into thrash metal, check them out. They have this one tune called TSB.
Yep.
And Blake, who was the singer at the time, found this guy on like Instagram called the Toilet Seat Bandit.
Huh.
And basically what he does is he'll go to different restaurants and whatever, steal their toilet seat, paint it, and then like reinstall it.
Right. So it's like toilet seat art. I guess everyone needs a hobby. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Blake Hipson?
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah, I know Blake.
Yeah. He's a good dude. We go way back.
Yeah, get well, Blake.
Yeah, he's going through it right now.
Yeah, but that's his story. So get well, Blake.
Who else have I been working with? Going back a little bit, we have the Fly Downs. We have
Fuck you, Jesse Brewer. No, I love him. I love him to death.
Yeah, Jesse and Shane and Matt and Alex.
Yep.
I think there's just the 4 of them.
Awesome. Love the Fly Downs. So how would someone get a hold of you to book some time to record at Hillside?
You can get me through Instagram. It's just Hillside Audio. Or you can just email me directly. It's just Cam, which is me, at hillsideaudio.com.
Okay. I'll post all your contact information when I post the podcast up.
Okay, sweet.
Podcast up anyway, so they'll have the direct line of information. And to the good listener, you should book this guy and keep him busy and give back to the local, support the local. You don't have to go to Toronto. You can record right here in Ottawa.
Yeah, there's plenty of good studios in Ottawa.
Yeah, and it'll be a good time. Contact him and see if you can book some time. Maybe he's got some time to be booked. All right, Cam, It's been great to catch up, and I will keep in touch. I'd love to come out and check out the new studio sometime.
Yeah, just let me know, man.
Are you good at recording just acoustic stuff?
What's that?
Are you good at recording just acoustic stuff as well?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I've done. You should check out Children of Indigo. I did a record for them way back.
Cool.
It's like super mellow, acoustic-y kind of stuff.
Well, I have a couple of tunes that maybe I'll book some time.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Rad. All right, buddy. Keep in touch and good luck with everything. And I guess I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, man. I'll
all right, take care.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
All right, that was Sunday Riot Club with a song called Gone in 60 Seconds, also recorded at Hillside Audio by Cameron Dunn. Really want to thank Cameron for being on, and look forward to talking to him again. And if you want to book some time at his studio, check the link in the podcast where it's posted. He's a good dude, and support the local. That's all I gotta say. That's it for me. If you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can check it out on all the major streaming services: Spotify, Deezer, iTunes, Google Play, blah, 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 blah. Just search Ego and Vice Podcast. I'm the only one out there, and that is trademarked. I own that shit, so you can't rip me off. You can try. Please try. Other than that, yeah, take care. I'll see you next week. Later.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.